Southwest Hot Chefs and Restaurants is brought to you in part by Jen Air, where innovation has finally caught up with your appetite for the extraordinary.
Thanks for coming back for the Meatballs. Did I say it right?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Are you Italian?
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm half Italian.
You're half
so
Italian.
My mother is Italian, and this is my mother's recipe, as a matter of fact.
Wonderful.
And my grandmother's recipe, so we're keeping the tradition going at our pizzeria.
That is fantastic. Oh, tell me what goes into the family recipe for the meatballs.
Well, for this recipe, I use ground beef. I try to use a lean ground beef, either 85% or 90%.
That's pretty neat.
And I like organic beef, but that's up to the cook who's making it.
Could you use turkey?
Yes, and
As
you
an
can.
option?
It works with turkey, or you can mix half turkey, half beef also. And then a lot of people make meatballs with veal, pork, and beef. But for meatballs, I think it's fine to use just beef or beef and turkey. So that's what I usually do.
So if you order this at Farina Pizzeria, you're going to get the lean beef. Okay.
That's right.
Great.
And so we have the beef, just a little bit of garlic, and if you're not a big garlic fan, you can skip the garlic. A little bit of salt, some parsley, which is important, I think.
All of the ingredients are important,
that's right.
And
now,
all of them can be found on southwestrestaurants.com.
Now this is important too. It's fresh breadcrumbs. So it's made from, it's not dried breadcrumbs, it's fresh breadcrumbs. And you can just make these by grinding up a loaf of, a few pieces of French bread.
Grinding up like in your blender?
Right, in your blender, right. And you can make them a little bit finer than this too if you want. And then another important ingredient in these meatballs is the Pecorino Romano cheese. I'm just going to save a little bit for the top of the spaghetti.
Okay.
And then the other really important thing, because this is what will, since you have those breadcrumbs in there, this will make your meatball soft, is lukewarm water. And what you have to do is put in a little bit at a time, and this you have to mix this with your hands. Can't use a spoon.
I think that's the fun part.
Yeah, you mush it all up. That's right.
Guests.
That's right.
The dinner guests that you didn't want to invite. You're like, how about if you
That's right.
get over there and mix those meatballs?
Now, do you want to try to do this?
Me?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
The dinner guests
Well,
you didn't
keep
like.
mixing it up.
Great.
And here's more water, and you can add a little bit more water if you need to.
All right.
You don't want it mushy and too soft, but there's just about a cup for a pound of beef is good.
Okay. And you're just trying to get it like a good mixture so that everything is...
You want it really combined so it stays together and it doesn't fall apart.
Okay.
All right? Now I have a pan. I have some mixed already. And a warm pan.
This is just, I'm playing over here.
That's
You're cooking
right.
and I'm playing in raw meat.
So I have a hot pan with light olive oil in it. And I like to fry with light olive oil rather than extra virgin olive oil because it has a higher cooking temperature, so it won't burn.
So light olive oil.
Light olive oil is best for sauteing.
All right.
And this is how each of the meatballs should be about an ounce. So from a pound of beef, you can figure you'll get it between, 14 and 16.
So that's too big.
That's too big, yeah.
Okay.
For me, I mean, some people like big meatballs, but I like them to be about an ounce or
an ounce
and a half. So like I said, from a pound of meat, you should be able to get it anywhere from a 12 to 16 meatballs. That's a perfect size.
Right on.
When you roll them, just give them a nice.
There, nice.
Now.
And this Jen Air cooktop, how do you like cooking on this?
Well, these are wonderful because they have really nice burners that you can choose the heat that you want, and they're so nice looking too.
Yeah, and this range is so sleek on this.
Yes, I love that it's right on the countertop, but it's also a complete stove.
Yes, yep.
It's really
Slide
nice.
in range.
Yes.
So we're not going to use mine. We'll save mine for later.
As they're cooking, we want to turn them a little, not just from one side clear to the other because they'll flatten out.
Okay.
But we want to turn them on their side. So this takes a lot of attention.
So you have to babysit these.
You have to babysit these.
Little quarter turns.
That's right. But one thing you can do is if you're making a lot of the meatballs, you can put them in the oven on a baking sheet that has some olive oil on it. Turn them around in the olive oil, and then just put them right in the oven, and they'll stay nice and round. And just leave them in there. I think it's at about 350 until they're brown.
Well, we have some that are already made.
That's right. And then when these are brown, what we're going to do is put them in the marinara sauce that we've already made and was simmering on the stove.
And you have your
for about a half an hour.
Pasta here.
We've made some whole wheat pasta. We've cooked whole wheat pasta al dente. Tossed it in a little olive oil so it doesn't stick. And these are our meatballs in the marinara sauce. And about I would say three of these 1 ounce meatballs per portion works out really good.
Three per person?
3 per person. Less if, they're children or, if you're not as hungry. And then, so here's our third meatball.
And a generous
And then a little
sauce.
sprinkling of either Parmesan or Pecorino Romano cheese.
Beautiful.
Either one.
That's so pretty, almost too pretty to eat, but I'm going to. Can I try some?
Okay, yes, go ahead.
Are you going to try some too?
I'll let you do the honors.
Oh, that cheese flavor. You can taste the basil.
The cheese really.
That cheese really comes through.
Yeah.
Pecorino Romano.
Yeah, in the meatballs.
Delicious.
Now, if you don't want dairy, you don't have to put the cheese in. You can eliminate it.
You
Just
can
put a
skip
little
dairy.
more salt.
Well, please stick around and join us. We are at Builder Source Appliance Gallery in Albuquerque, and we will be right back. Thank you.